In the immortal words of Admiral Akbar, it's a trap.
I keep thinking about Bruce Springsteen. Trapped. Ooh, yeah.
So funny. There's something for all of us here in Trapped. Okay, so
Indeed.
This is going to be a non-spoiler review of Trapped. The movie came out this past weekend. We're playing catch up with it. Although truly, the trailer tells you everything. If you've seen the trailer, which you probably have because it's played before like every other movie this summer, you kind of know what's going on here, but we will still try to be respectful and not give things away. So you guys subscribe. We'd love to see you here at the channel all the time. We are wrapping up summer and getting into fall movie season. Alonso is very fancy and is going to the Venice Film Festival. So we'll have some reports from that. We'd love to have you hang out with us. Alonso, what is Trap about?
You know, the butcher? The freaking nut job that goes around chopping people up. The feds heard that he's gonna be here today.
Josh Hartnett plays a seemingly, regular dorky dad, and he's being a good dad. He's taking his teenage daughter to see her favorite pop diva sensation, Lady Raven, coincidentally played by the daughter of the director. And when he arrives at the concert, he starts noticing there's a lot of cops at the doors, and they're like grabbing dudes out of the audience and taking them off for questioning. And he's like, what's all this then? We're talking about what's in the trailer, right? We can spoil that part.
They're at a concert in the trailer, and he is noticing cops and acting a little squirrely.
Yes.
Yes.
And so we find out that the reason that he's acting a little squirrely is because this entire event is a trap for Josh Hartnett. Because while he is seemingly just a regular dorky suburban dad, he is also a serial killer. And somehow the cops know that he's at this thing and they're going to nab him, but not if Josh Hartnett can stay one step ahead of the man, or in this case, the woman, the FBI profiler played by Hayley Mills.
Yay, good to see her.
Yes, they don't give her nearly enough to do, but I'm thrilled that she's in this movie. Okay. While this movie is in the arena and it's all about him trying to figure out how to get out of the arena, it's a pretty good thriller. You're having to sort of constantly move the chess pieces and figure out how he's going to outmaneuver and who he's going to have to talk to and what, Hartnett's performance is the highlight here. He is he's doing great, like regular guy mask on the psychopath, it calls to mind like, the sociopath. It calls to mind like, obviously Norman Bates and Psycho, but also Terry O'Quinn and The Stepfather, one of my favorite examples of this kind of thing. But then they leave the arena.
Yep.
And this movie falls apart.
All that tension they built, gone.
Oh, yeah. So gone. And then replaced by like 5 different endings. Moments where it's like, wait, the what's in this movie are staggering, because it literally becomes this thing where like, okay, unless he's not only a serial killer, but can also like apparate. Like it makes no sense whatsoever that he could get from this place to that place with no one noticing. Like
he's a big guy. He's 6'3", which is part of how they use that usefully in the concert, because he's super tall and stands out in the crowd.
Yes. Somebody was saying, somebody online was like, yeah, my idea of hell is being a teen girl stuck behind Josh Hartnett in the floor seats at this concert.
Totally.
But yeah, so all of the meticulous kind of logic that Shyamalan has given us up to that point, out the window. Like Josh Hartnett literally has to become a puff of smoke for some of these things to make sense. And so, yeah, that's when it falls apart for me. The pop singer who's, in the background doing a lot of singing, played by Saleka Night Shyamalan, starts getting prominence in the plot, and that doesn't really work either. And so, yeah, I think this is a fun idea that falls apart.
Yeah, I agree, because there is tension within the humor. There is tension within just the tightening of the screws and the closing in as far as what's he going to do next. He's got a particular set of skills.
Oh, yeah.
And so he's able to like get out of things in ways that are like clever and kind of disturbing. And I'm enjoying the Josh Hartnett-essence between this and Oppenheimer.
And the bear.
He's in the bear. And this is a great use of like how extremely handsome he is in sort of a boyishly like charming way, but also like He's got an imposing physical presence about him, and the film uses that pretty effectively as well. And all M. Night Shyamalan movies are shot so exquisitely. Like, the camera work is always so inspired. He's working with Sayambu Muktipram, right? The Thai cinematographer who has shot a lot of Luca Guadagnino films. And
Apichatpong Veerasathakun films.
Your favorite, yes. And so it looks great as far as like both putting you in the intimacy of the father-daughter dynamic, but also taking into account the enormity of the arena, where at times like everyone's lights are on their phones, and you truly do feel like you are in this concert in this incredibly rundown arena in Philadelphia. It's dated, but that I think kind of fits with the claustrophobia of it, like the close quarters of it. Right. And then they leave the arena and it just falls apart, as you say. We do get a really great couple of scenes from Alison Pill.
Yes.
Once it leaves the arena, it's great to see her here. And there is legitimate tension in a scene between her and Josh Hartnett. But even within that moment, there are some wait, what's?
Yeah, there are some plot hole questions.
That were distracting.
Yeah, you get to a moment where you're like, oh, that's why Alison Pill agreed to be in this movie. But even then, you're sort of like, wait, huh? So yeah, there's, and I think I maybe disagree with you about the cinematography. Like, I'm a huge fan of Muktipram.
Yeah.
But yeah, the concert stuff is well done, and it's lit like an actual concert. But I think they could have done more with like the sort of the harsh fluorescence of the other parts of the arena that I don't think they play with enough. I think they could have really leaned into that awfulness of it, and use that to play up the tension. And I don't think they did.
That's a good point. And yeah, there are just some things I can't say, but want to say, I think that his daughter has a lovely stage presence, but when she's called upon to do some more hefty dramatic work, it's unintentionally hilarious. Like, Nick and I went to see this and we were laughing at moments that I don't think were intended to be funny.
No, probably not. I'm giving her the benefit of the doubt in that Angelica Houston and Sofia Coppola both made their acting debuts in movies that their dads directed.
Okay.
And while those debuts were not good, they obviously went on to bigger and better things. So hoping the same for Ms. Night Shyamalan. And obviously this is a divisive film. A lot of people I know just, oh, it's so great, it's so fun, it's entertaining. And I think he's that kind of director where like you either are on board for the beach that makes people old, or the Mark Wahlberg out running the wind, or you're not. And I'm more often than not. So if you were a fan of MNS, this might be your jam, but it was not mine.
I liked Split. I thought that was really well made.
It was, yeah. I mean, it was, I think at least it didn't pretend it wasn't cheesy, I think that was one of its best strengths.
Okay, so what's your number then on Trap?
Like a 3.5. I just was really kind of, I was into it and then I was very not into it. And I felt like it just was very disappointing for me.
Yeah, I'm right down the middle with a 5. Like, it was good and then it wasn't.
Right.
So Trap's in theaters. Let us know if you have seen it.